What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Eat, Sleep, Race podcast. Today, we're joined with my partner, Francis. We got Dave Lacalio back again, and we have the world-renowned Ron Bergenholtz.
Well, nah. It's all good. I'm just a guy that likes speed like everybody else.
So, real quick, Ron.
Yeah.
You're Filipino, right?
I am Filipino, but I got a German last name.
How did you get a German last name?
All right. So hypothetically, or not hypothetically, but the story is, right? Great-grandfather, who was, I guess, in the military, ended up being stationed in the Philippines, and he never went back home. And basically, he fell in love. Lo and behold, produced my grandfather, and the rest is history. So it's funny thing you mentioned that when we did that Team California thing, right, where West Coast racers came to Akron, New Jersey, right?
That was the first time you came.
Yeah, first time.
And it rained out.
And it rained out, right? And if you
Wait, what year was this?
97. And a fan had come out and looked at us, because obviously in the magazines back in the day, you'd cover the race car. You didn't really cover the people that often, right? It was all about the race car, right? And the fan goes, "Wow, I thought you guys were white. Is this bad or good?" No, it's cool. Yeah, I thought you were white. But same thing even in college, Ron Bergenholtz, you have to do roll call. You're like, "Let me see your ID." Thought some Asian cat came in to take the test with some white dude,
Yeah, because they're like, is he cheating?
Is he cheating?
Is Ron really cheating?
But
That's one way to get an A.
That's how
is.
That's how Bergenholtz came to be.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm the token white guy today.
Yes, you are.
You are.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm okay with being the white
We're
guy.
good.
But you know what? If if you're listening to this, they wouldn't know Ron. Ron is from Europe, not from the Philippines.
So, Ron, let's just give us give our viewers a quick introduction of yourself, brief history of how motorsports came into your life.
Well, before we used to do freestyle and ride bikes or whatnot, right? We rode with this J dude, and I'll give him props, Ruji Hora, right? Great freestyle rider, great flatland rider. And he showed up to my house, with this bike, and we'd always go ride together and that sort of thing, right? And he came in this lowered 87 Integra. I said, "The hell are you lowering your car for?" He goes, "Dude, let me take you to this place," right? So I go, "Let's go now." And it was like, fucking 4:00 in the afternoon. So we end up at the street races at 12 midnight. I'm like, "Damn, bro, this place is off the hook."
And this is in California.
This is out in Cali, right?
Okay.
Streets of Compton. Name of the street was Marie and Anna. That's where it all started, right? And so we're like, "Damn!" And all these hooked up imports, and it's just the beginnings of Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious was what it was, right?
Yeah.
And so we're like, "Damn, there's chicks there," that sort of thing. We're like, "Yeah." So yeah, I stopped riding bikes after that. I said, "How to get me a hooked up ride?" So the rest is history from back in 1988, right? I unfortunately had a Jetta with a 2-liter double overhead cam conversion, all that stuff, right? Realized, Volkswagen wasn't my thing. Got into Hondas, and dude, the industry just took off. You know what I'm saying? It was big on the streets, boatload of people, right? But it wasn't organized, right? And thanks to Ken Miyoshi with Import Shop, we saw the same thing at the nightclubs, right? At all the nightclubs back in the day, right? It was a car show. All these slammed imports, you name it. Pulling up, all that. And Ken Miyoshi goes, "Let's turn this into a show." And it took off. Frank Choi, it's getting... back in the day, it was getting dangerous on the streets, right? Getting arrested, getting your car impounded. And this was during the early 90s. So he goes, "Dude, we got to organize it." Palmdale happened, right? And then, it started catching on. And in fact, Nitto was integral in that, because Nitto sponsored Battle Imports and Nitto sponsored Import Shop. And now the import industry started putting its stamp everywhere, right? And even, Kip Kiddington, Turbo Magazine, Import Tuner, right? He's like, there's something here.
There's something going on.
Now the magazine started covering it, right? And all these people together blowing it up, right? then it just started steaming, right? Middle backing everybody, you know what I mean? Getting all these organizations going, right? And then now domestic manufacturing, Edelbrock, all the Holly making products for these Hondas. Hondas was a new game. Skyrocket, 95. And it, to this day, right? To this day, Hondas are still
relevant.
huge, right?
Yep.
And then now all us old fogies, right, are wanting to feel young again, right? Now I'm spending $400 on a pair of CRX moldings that are only supposed to be $60.
Can't find them.
Right? So our demographic, right, 45 and up, right, or 42 and up, whatever, right? We want to feel young again. We want to rekindle. We're done. We got our houses. We got our kids. We got disposable amounts of money. We want to feel young again. We want to feel how it was back in the day, right? And so now you got, you know, the prices of all these old school Hondas and the parts to bring them back are bang, dude.
Of course.
And so what we're seeing is a return of the domestic industry with the Mustangs, but it's happening in our enthusiast market, right? And dude,
Are you gonna get a VW?
no, I have a CRX, and unfortunately, I don't have time for the damn thing, but I'll get there, right?
I think going about on what you're saying, it makes total sense. You know, cars that were really just plain Jane Daly's 92 EG, right? That was back in the day was a car that anybody had. Grandmas are driving them. You know?
The ticket was the scam that we all pulled when we were going to college, right? We're telling mom and dad, hey, we need an economical car to go to
100%,
college, right?
100%.
So all of us were using that scam with our parents
Yes.
to buy that car, and then some of us dropped off and we're using that tuition money we were getting from our parents to fix up our ride.
Oh, I know a couple people like that.
For my my area, right, in Southern California, UCI was labeled as the University of Civics and Integrity. You know what I mean? So, I was pre-med, right? But, you know, my story was, you know, we need a doctor. We need a doctor in the family. You need to be a doctor or a nurse or whatever, right? So I was like, all right, you know, doing good, 3.8, whatever, about to go to pre-med, and you have to have a mentor, right? The mentor goes, hey, Ron, why are you studying, you know, all this stuff, biology? I'm good at it. You know, it's fun. You know, it's mechanical. There's some engineering behind it, right? The cardiovascular system, the circular, the filter system, whatever, right? And I go, I'm good at it. He goes, but do you love it? I go, nah, I'm just good at biology. I don't love it. He goes, what do you love, Ron? I go, I love racing.
Yeah,
And
told him that.
I told him I love racing. You know, this was during the streets, right?
Right.
This was early 90s. I was getting my biology degree done. I had, you know, maybe one semester left, you know, with a bachelor's in biology with 3.8, right? Trying to get into pre-med, right? And he goes, well, do what you love. He goes, dude, I'm 40. I've been studying forever, right? And I'm still working, I'm still studying, and I can't get my youth back. He goes, do what you love, Ron. So I dropped the fuck out, right?
That's a good mentor.
I hid that shit from my parents for a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
Bro. And
So were you like waking up, acting like you're going to school?
oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I was going to the shop, bro. So I wanted to be a surgeon, right? And now I became a surgeon of cars, right? And so it always intrigued me, the exhilaration, that sort of thing. And, you know, car shows was cool. And then I retired away from all that stuff with all the success, but that adrenaline rush wasn't there. So obviously me and my brother, he was doing the racing, I was doing the car shows. I got sick of the car shows because, you know, you don't get no adrenaline rush with it. And we went full bore in racing, right? In 97, 98, right? I started out racing and then realized I was like, damn, I'm blowing up too much shit. But anyways, me and my brother went full bore with the CRX. Started getting crazy, breaking records, wheelie bar stuff, and what?
So you had a lot of firsts, not to cut you off, but you had a lot of firsts with that CRX.
yeah.
And even in the front wheel drive community.
Well, yeah, the exhilaration of well, it starts at the street races, right? At the street races, you have to have cred, right? Street cred, right? And you don't want to be a sucker when you're on the street races, right? You want to be able to roll up and they're like, damn, that's at CRX, right? The original guy who owned that, right? The original guy who owned that, right, was Robert Sapinosa, right? He had a lot of passion, right? He wanted to be the fastest on the street. When people saw him, they're like, damn, there's that CRX that hauls ass, right? And you take down the king, whoever's king shit at the races.
That's
right?
the top dog.
And then, you know, obviously I learned my shit talking from the street races. And so, you know, you start talking shit, bringing out the dogs, say, hey, I want you. Let's go for 500 right now, right? And then we took him down, and then it's all about street cred. Same thing goes at organized racing, right? You want to be able to be known as the fastest guy. Robert Sapinosa, God bless his soul, right? He got, believe it or not, he got murdered in that car.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, wow.
This was during the Asian gangster era, in the early 90s, right? And so me and Ed wanted to follow his passion, to be known as the fastest guy. The guy who was actually pushing, I mean, don't get me wrong, we put our heart, blood, soul into that CRX, but, you know, Robert, God rest his soul, was pushing that car.
So what motor was in that car originally?
Originally it was, my brother, he went to the library to come up with the electrical schematics to convert from DX or HF to SI. So
The HF was carbureted, right?
yeah, it was carbureted,
Okay.
right? So, you know, of all places, right? You lucky whippersnappers out there got Google, so you guys got no excuses out there. So my brother goes to
Your brother was doing research.
the public library and came up with all the schematics, right? And got it to run. And either he got the Canadian version, I don't know, right? And that car hauled ass.
So going back real quick, so
Then we got off a tangent. Well, anyway.
oh, that's
this
the whole
is
point of this. We go on tangents, but for those that have seen your car, and I have seen the CRX, you always had that SAP live sticker.
The
yeah,
sticker.
Sap.
Yeah.
Because of the
Robert
original
Sapinosa.
owner of the CRX was
Yeah.
Robert
Sapinoso, yeah.
Okay.
And so,
Y'all made that famous.
Yeah.
well, it was a
Famous.
tribute to
Everyone, I didn't know what it meant, but I was like, well, SAP live, like, what was it for? And I never knew. So
Because that was before everybody would say in memory of.
Right.
oh yeah, he lives.
That's something else that you
He-
kind of invented.
Sap lives in the car.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? He
Right,
lives.
yeah.
I mean, we're talking point blank, 10 rounds, but Ed was in the car too.
Was this in street race? This was at a street race?
No, this was,
Or just driving
it was
around?
on the street.
It was on the
Damn,
street.
mistaken identity. But
Damn.
anyway, the soul of him was in that car to make it haul ass. And throughout our whole tenure with that car, I mean, dude, we were in the 2-car garage looking at it, and we're like, what can we do? And then weird thing, it started popping wheelies at testing. Like centripetal or centrifugal force would cause the tire to expand real quick, and it would jump at the launch. And we're like, so we're out there drinking beer and going, what can we do? One guy goes, hey, why don't we cut the car in half and extend it? You drank too much, fool. That's gonna look stupid, right? And then
That's that
I
Kelly.
go, why don't we put wheelie bars on it like all those other characters? Another beer later, motherfucker's gonna work, right? So I bought them, Janksters, 72-inch Janksters, right? And then all of a sudden the car ran a 1053 or something. And we're like, oh, it's good. And those wheelie bars sat at my shop for 6 months.
Before you put them
About a
on.
year.
Before you guys even put them on.
Before we even put them on. And then all of a sudden, we are running into some more front end problems. And we're like, it's time to put those bad boys on.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think you guys debuted them in Englishtown.
Oh, no, we debuted them at Palmdale.
Palmdale?
Okay, so here's another story, right? Here we go. This is now we're gonna go on this wheelie bar story, right? So Stefan Papadakis shows up 1998 with Sean Carlson with that tube chassis thing.
Yep.
Right? So everybody's stuck at 10s for like fucking year and a half, right? Year and a half. And everybody's wondering, how the fuck do you get into the nines, right? How the hell are we going to get in nines? 98 SEMA. You know, SEMA used to be cool, right? You can see the latest cars, blah, 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 right? So Stefan Papadakis and Sean Carlson show up with this 2 chassis yellow thing. And everybody, all the drag racers, you name them, are all gathered around this thing. And they're like, fuck, you got to build this to do nines? And so Stefan and Sean Carlson, rest his soul, right?
Rest in peace.
Sean Carlson and Stefan Papadakis build this thing, right? And they set the example, right? They set the example. They broke the mold, right? Props to them, right? And people are going, where do I got access to build that shit, right? Me and my brother and the team at the time were like, fuck that. We'll just do more testing, right? And so we finally put the wheelie bars on, right? It's March of 99. Steph debuts that bad boy, right? And mind you, in the fall of 98, we finally got those wheelie bars on, and we were testing them on Sundays because we knew no import guys would be there. It'd be all domestics. There ain't no young kids waking up early in the morning on Sunday to go testing. Ain't nobody doing that, right? So we hid this motherfucker for a while, dude. For a while. We were testing it like crazy, right? And we got to, what was it? We got to 1036, right? And so March Battle comes out, right? And Steph goes out there with that tube chassis thing, right? All right. And rolls, I think he rolls a 1010 in practice, right? And then ultimately he landed a 998 first, front wheel drive in the nines, right? At that same event, we rolled out of the trailer with wheelie bars. What the fuck these dudes thinking, right? And we crack a 1036 and win that event, right? So next race, 3 months later, I think it was June Palmdale, right? Everybody's got wheelie bars, right? And mind you, no, let me take that back. Bergenholtz Racing is big on testing. Test, right? A month before that June race, right? We're testing up at Pomona, right? Some fucking street legal event, right? Mind you, the record's 998. We crack a 987 up in that bitch.
Nice.
And then Frank Joy calls me, is this true? You got a 987. Without tube chassis, you look at...
First unibody.
Yeah, you look in that fucking car, it's got full interior, right? And then we show it up the Hot in 4 Nights, and we play that video over and over and over again, right? 987. It's not official, but I got the video, right? 987. So guess what happens? Palmdale comes, and everybody's got wheelie bars. Even Steph's got wheelie bars. Go out there. We ran 987. Steph runs a 990, 989. So we're throwing numbers at each other, right? So we're king for, I don't know, probably a month, right? And then he comes back out there and runs a 976. And then we run a 9, because we got eliminated early. So we were in the exhibition line going up against him. I think on my social media, there's a picture of This Means War, and it's Steph's tube chassis car against ours. So Steph takes the record for front wheel drive at 976, and we're at a 982 or something. So at that point, and this boils down to the championships of 05 and 06, or what Bergenholtz Racing is all about, right? And so we wanted to prove that you didn't need all that. You didn't need to spend all that money building a tube chassis car. We did it with a unibody car, right?
You said to work for it.
Huh?
You had to work for it.
Well, yeah, in anything.
Well, I even remember, like, when the wheelie bar came out, Chris Rado went to the extreme, right?
That motherfucker put hydraulic.
He put hydraulic in his wheelie bar, and everyone's like, damn, this guy is really trying to, bring...
So it was great to make that impact, right? And do crazy shit like that. And to put you honestly, it gets addicting doing crazy shit like that, right? even in stupid, right? But even in the car show scene, right? I was raising my car like, I don't know, fucking 4 feet off the ground and putting mirrors underneath that bit, bringing a DJ and a smog machine just for a presentation.
That was the thing back then.
Yeah. So doing crazy shit's always been dope. You know what I mean? And, you know, especially being the underdog and showing and giving hope, right? That you don't need to spend so much money. Oh, here, good one. I'm going to quote, and I still use this quote to this fucking day, right? When we came here for Team California and we met Vinny 10 because he came in, he's talking all that shit, right? And I was like, damn, I like this guy.
That's that New York in him.
Yeah, I love it. I love the East Coast, right? I like the bravado. I'll have to say, right, out of all this doesn't count for Formula D, but for drag racing, the best fans, the most craziest fans we've ever experienced is Englishtown or New Jersey.
Either Raceway Park or ACO.
You guys have the best fans. They either love you or hate you because there's those stands right at the start.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah. And either they fucking boo the shit out of you or they love you.
You get booed twice at ACO because they'll boo you at the starting line and also on the return.
I was back in the day. I was clowning fucking Lacalia there. But anyways, it's always good to do gangster shit, right? Or do things the underdog. I'm a big underdog guy. I'm a big Rocky guy. I'm a big, Cinderella Man guy. Movies for me inspire me, and underdog stories are always the shit, right? So throwing numbers like that and doing ingenious shit is pretty dope. Obviously, as time went on, wheelie bars was one, fighting with Steph was another, and then after that, tube chassis was the way to go, and GM comes. And it was, this is good. It's good. We got manufacturer support coming in. And it was dope back in the day because you had Dodge with Carlson. You had Honda with Steph. You had
Ford with Nelson.
With Nelson.
No, not Nelson.
No, he started off with Carlson. And then Carlson.
Ford was Carlson.
Yeah. Remember he made that Ford Focus. Focus.
Focus.
A lot of other guys. Anyways, so and then GM comes in and they come in hard.
They would surround their whole pit.
No, even
motors.
They started off with just Nelson Hoyos and
Marty Ladwig.
Marty Ladwig, right?
Yep.
In the hot rod class. And
I thought Marty was Chevy.
He is.
Yeah, but GM.
I thought you said Ford.
No, GM.
Oh,
no.
You're saying you're skipping around.
GM had a lot of
cars. We were Mazda, right?
Hey, so Mazda, but you were Honda.
Well, okay, here.
So what happened there?
Right? Wait,
hold on. Let me rephrase that. So why did you switch from Honda to Mazda?
All right. So the game started to get a little bit pricier, right? And so you need support to build a tube chassis car. I mean, it's a major investment. You need a fabricator to build a car basically out of thin air. You know what I mean? It's not like you buy a unibody car and it already exists. And you just bolt on a bunch of stuff and it's done, right? With a tube chassis, you got to build that stuff from the ground up on a jig, right? And so that requires money. We had proposed something like that with Honda, but they already had good partners with Papadakis and Adam Sartori. No doubt about it. You don't have room for more. Mad respect if that's what you can do. So we had to look elsewhere. And so Todd Kaneko, who used to sponsor, he was Fast Tracks Turbo, sponsored the CRX. He worked for Mazda. And so we're like, hey, man, we want to build this tube chassis car, blah, 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 blah. He goes, yeah, let's do it. I was just like, sick. And so Mazda believed in us. They weren't running a program. They liked how all the major manufacturers were involved in the Pro front-wheel drive program, right? And so,
they saw the opportunity.
Yeah, manufacturers like to fight amongst each other, and they use people like us to show the talent, the
capacity
of it, right? Yeah. To show that their products are better than the other one. And boy, we talked a lot of mad smack on GM back in the day. But so we built the Mazda, right? Went me, Vince, Ed, Sav. I'm naming off the people. I got to give them props. Ramel, Kurt. We did a lot of R&D. We blew up a lot of stuff. Dude, me and Vince lived at Golden Eagle trying to figure stuff out. We outsourced stuff.
We cracked a couple heads.
Yeah, we realized that Vince was just like,
Was Dave involved with this? Or not?
He did a few heads for us, right? Just cleanups and stuff like that, right? But you have to understand a factory. Now, mind you, Honda heads, those are some crazy shit, right? But on a Mazda head, there's some shortcomings, right? You got to be careful, right? And so we have to do very little because we're talking, back in the day, 40 pounds was a lot. You know what I mean? It was a lot of pounds of boost, right? Yeah. And so we'd run into problems. We'd break all kinds of stuff. Vince was just like, dude, screw this. We're going to figure it out ourselves. So we lived at the shop. We built our own motors. We didn't outsource any of that stuff anymore. We figured if we're going to blow up, we're going to do it at our hands.
On your terms.
Yeah, rather than play the blame game. I don't want to deal with that, right? None of us did, right? So we'd always put our heads together, figure it out. Same thing, beers, look at the situation. Six heads are better than one. 7 heads are better than one. And we'd try different things and test it nonstop. We lived at Palmdale, right? And, after all those blow-ups, right, it's only a matter of time till it comes around, right?
Till everything comes together.
Yeah, and it was hard in 2004. It was hard in part of 2003, but we kept at it. Never say die. Oh, I forgot to say, the Vinny 10, right? Vinny 10. In anything I do. In fact, I tell everybody the same thing when they're like, oh, well, they have more. They have more people. They have more talent. They have more backing, right? Vinny 10 said it best. And to this day, I will remember it till the day I die. I may not have $1 million, Ron, but I got 1 million fucking ideas. Yeah. And so with that mantra and that quote, we've always said, never say die, never say die, never say die, never say die. Then 2000, GM came out hard. A lot of people in hot rod started falling off. Mm-hmm. In fact, GM took the approach of grabbing your boys, your New Jersey boy, and
it's a couple East Coast boys.
Picked off Gardella.
Yep.
Picked off all these ex-Honda talents.
Jason Hunt.
And they got rid of Chuck couldn't Sight Singer. He couldn't compete anymore either because it was like so crazy to go against GM.
GM was making it that much harder. They came out with money. Strong.
Yeah.
And with all the backing of their facilities and their R&D and their talent and their accredited team, this was a walk in the park. So at the time, it was 2004, late. So GM started going strong. People started falling off. People started giving up, right?
Well, it took half the field.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, in hot rod. Hot rod, they were losing hope. Pro four-wheel drive was in itself just completely unattainable sometimes. And it was 2004, fall, almost Christmas. Abel Ibarra had told, we were like, damn, Wally would be cool. Abel Ibarra goes, those motherfuckers are hard to get, man. And then we all look at each other like, fuck it. I don't got $1 million, but I got 1 million fucking ideas, right? Go over the computers, blah, blah, blah. What can we do? Reviewing footage, looking at data logs, right? And then Florida, round 1 happens, right? West Palm Beach. And shit, the strategies we used in December at testing worked and we won.
This is NHRA Sports Cup.
NHRA Sports Cup, we won. We're like, whoa, it's Wally.
It's Wally number 1.
Kind of cool. So when you finally realize that you can get one,
you can get
getting
more.
Multiple comes out easy. That's when 2005, and mind you, oh man, dude. Every round I was looking at points. GM's coming out harder and harder. And we're constantly competing, winning because of Ed's reaction time. Because we weren't winning with brute horsepower. We were planting everything we earned at Golden Eagle, Vince's hard work, Ed and Derek. Oh, I forgot Derek Ige too. He's part of our team. Them behind the computers coming up with different strategies. We had to use our brains that much more. Collectively as a group, and the hard work and sleeping, me and Kurt sleeping in the trailer and blowing up stuff and figuring out how to piece together stuff. And then the championship happened. We're like, damn,
we could do this.
We could do this, right? So we got our confidence. We knew we could do it. We were doing stuff that not even GM was doing.
What Mazda motor were you using?
It was a 2.3 Duratec or MZR motor. MZR.
What platform?
It comes in a factory Mazda Speed 6 or a factory Mazda Speed 3, right? And it's a stock block with a Golden Eagle sleeve in it, right? And then GM comes back in 2006 with 3 more cars. I'm like, fuck. Damn it, right? And then they come out with an engine program where they bring a trailer and then they're unloading motors for all the teams. Now, mind you, our team, we build our own shit. I mean,
so how many spares did you have?
Well, the team will make fun of me because I would only build one. Me and Vince would only build one spare, and the team I'd be like, "Hey, only half track pass, okay? Only half." No, the fucking Ed runs a full pass. I go, dude, man, now we got a lap fucking valve, shit like that. Because the head, I can't get brand new head. The head just goes, so you're gonna lap out. But anyways, we didn't have the resources they had.
And what engine management? Motec?
Motec, yeah, Motec all the way. Motec to this day, right? And
what were you using in the CRX? Motec?
That was Motec.
Okay.
So you probably one of the first guys to use Motec.
Yeah.
Or actually just even stayed with it.
Nah. Ed learned tuning. Georgia Avenue, Bullish Racing, Titan, Motec.
But I'm saying like on the Honda side.
Nah, there was more. We weren't the first. I mean, we had all kinds of garbage in there. We had we call it Fucktel, but we had Pectel in there. OG DFI was the first. After OG DFI, Fucktel or Pectel, and then Motec finally, right? But Motec's like, that's like Louis Vuitton, bro.
Oh yeah,
it's straight LV, dog.
It's always been that.
Yeah, that's straight Gucci.
OG DFI was DOS.
Yeah, that was like $300, but it worked.
Yeah,
and even when we ran those wheelie bars and all that, that was.
I had that on my Buick.
Yeah, DOS.
Yeah, I had that on my Buick.
But anyways, with the 2005, 2006 championship, man, GM was just getting hard, and then 2006 they come out even harder. God. And 3 more cars. In fact, they put some hot rod cars in pro front wheel drive. We're like, dang, man. Right?
That's what I'm saying. That they literally took like over half the field.
Yeah, they took about half the field.
And I want to plant the seed that you guys heard. If you've never been to the track, you might be so young you don't even know who we're talking about. But they would surround the entire, their whole camp.
Yeah, they had a GM camp.
Yeah.
But it made sense to have the GM camp because now you can put the support trailer
right in the middle.
The motors, the transmissions, and mind you, these guys didn't come with one spare. No, these fools were coming in. They came in with 4 motors in that trailer, probably 3 transmissions, rear end, all kinds of stuff in that trailer, right? And so all the teams had to do was, if they blew a motor, they just chuck one in, right? If you blew another one, just chuck one in. My crew, we don't have that luxury. We got to treat that motor in the utmost respect. We can't chuck. You're not putting 50 pounds of boost in that one because I'm going to be broke.
Yeah.
I'm going to be straight up broke, right? Bergenholtz Racing going to be bankrupt. Chapter 11, bro. I go, no. Ed, no, you are not putting 50 pounds of boost in there. We got, this is what we got in our pocket, right? We know it'll handle 40 pounds of boost, maybe, right? You never know. Maybe
It's on the cuff. It's on the cuff at 40
maybe I'll have
already.
a stuck injector. Maybe the turbo will blow up. You never know, right? This is what we got. We're not pushing it, right? Whereas them, they can get away with that. So with God's good graces, you know, after all that, right, we'll pull off the second championship back to back, 2005, 2006. And, you know, we went on a tear. You know, it's one thing that Kobe put it best on his last championship, him and his crew at the Lakers, right, is his championship, what they fought through with the Celtics and all that stuff, you'll take to your die. Same thing with my crew, right? Obviously, me and Ed are brothers, right? But I'll be safe to say that Vince Tiaga is our brother. Derek Ige, who's the oldest, he's the voice of reason. Derek Ige is our brother. He works for Mazda. Sab Leone, he's our brother, right? Ramel Figueroa, he's our brother. Kurt Gasper, he's our brother. Those are all our brothers.
Nate.
You know what I mean? No, Nate was part of Jotec.
Oh,
Yeah, with
Not a
NHRA.
brother.
not a brother.
Well,
Not a brother.
believe it or
He's
not,
Asian.
He's a brother. Right?
He's just Asian.
But at the time, he still, you know, Nathan's my brother, right? No doubt about it, right?
Not in that team though.
But
No,
not for
with what our team went through, being dragged through the mud, through the fire,
Through the trenches, as they call it
Dude.
these days.
6 out of our 8 people on our team are bald. We all lost our hair. Stressing out through 05 and 06, looking at points, wondering if we're going to be able to make it next year, wondering if we're going to be able to go even closer because, dude, GM, I mean, dude, when Steph was throwing numbers against us at Palmdale, when everybody was fighting to get in the 9s, or who the hell was going to get in the 9s, dude, GM took it up like
They just turned it up.
notches. I mean, I'm not going to say, you know, I'd love to say that it took years off my life. You know what I mean? But in a way, it made us all stronger, made us all closer to be able to accomplish that against all odds.
The underdog.
It's
Dude.
definitely the David and Goliath story.
I was
Yeah.
every round, every time it build a motor, I was watching Rocky IV. I was watching Cinderella Man. I was watching Boiler Room, all kinds of stupid shit while you're doing shit, right? So that way in the background, you're telling, don't give up, don't give up. Fuck them, fuck them, fuck them, right? And shit, we were able to pull it off in 05 and 06. 07, obviously, something changed. We lost Vince, and you know, we were kind of strapped, but we still fought on, right? And then obviously, NHRA bowed out, gave it to Nopi, and then we all know where that went. Right?
So closing off the NHRA chapter, how many Wallies do you guys end up with,
Geez,
if you know?
two championship Wallies.
That's the big Wally.
05 and 06, the big gold suckers, right? And then 10 of the little shorty guys. One of them, which I don't count, Topeka wasn't really good. But
What are these trophies today? Are they your
the originals are at my house.
Okay.
Ed's got a set at his house, and then we gave a championship trophy to most of the team.
That's awesome.
And then
That's cool.
obviously, yeah, the Nido ring.
That's what's up.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna go tangent real quick. So, you know, we're from the East Coast, right? Obviously, were you guys close? Did you guys know each other? You know, with that group of Honda drag racing, like Steph Papadakis, Jojo Kalos. You know, were you guys all like? Did you like hang out with each other, or like were you enemies?
We were enemies.
Okay.
Okay. But back in the day, before all this started, right, we were part of a crew called Wicked Racing. Vit Lamb, Stephen Papadakis used this.
Dr.
Charles Madrid, Hilliard, us. I had my Integra, and our crew was so big, right, that everybody would try to beat up. You know what I mean? Cyber racing. There's a saying goes, "Fuck cyber." That sort of thing. Tony Fuchs. You know what I mean? Dave Shee. Right. Silver Bullet. He was part of Wicked Racing. So,
so how many crews were? So Wicked Racing, Cyber,
Precision. I forgot of Shoreline Racing. That were racing at Battle, but this was in early '90s, and then as racing started progressing, then people started having their own identities.
That's how it started. You guys had your crews. You hung out with each other. You did.
But the silly thing, even we're drifting this weekend, and Stefan Papadakis' crew is full of a bunch of guys that are Wicked Racing.
Really?
Yeah, like Sean Hilliard, he's Wicked Racing. Mario is Wicked Racing. Steph is Wicked Racing, and they're all drag racer mentality. But we were all sort of friends. But me personally, right? I had a hatred towards GM and how they came in, and
they basically.
I don't want to say.
Did they mess it up?
They made it hard for everywhere, and your common man or your common kid, young man, right? Damn.
But did you push them to the point where they had to spend that money because if they're going to spend money, they want to see some kind of Wally. They want to see the same stuff.
Well, that's the corporate.
Yeah, that's the corporate.
Yeah, but the grassroots way of building it was, to have that parity. But when you have a conglomerate and it's never happened before, come in with that much backing. I mean, even Sean Carlson was doing his own engine R&D. You know what I mean? Steph was doing his own R&D with his motors.
But they still couldn't do it, though.
Mazda didn't build our motors.
Yeah.
GM came in, guns a firing, right? Guns a firing. Much respect, right?
Well, considering that 100%. I don't have any affiliations with it, from a fan perspective, GM totally destroyed the sport.
Well,
that's how I see it.
Well,
because from the grassroots perspective, GM is, when I was a kid growing up and watching you guys, GM was not cool.
Yeah,
I didn't want to drive. I'm going to buy a Cobalt now because I see it running down there.
Anybody want to?
I wanted a CRX.
Cavalier.
Right. Let's get a Cavalier with the EcoBoost.
I'm not going to pick up no chicks with that Cavalier.
Right. Like, from my perspective, it ruined the sport because I saw CRXs, I saw Hondas, and I loved that type of import racing that made me want it. And when I saw GM, I'm like, this isn't like it wasn't.
There was a dark era after 2008 for import racing. It's resurgent like crazy now for the past, I don't know, 8 years or whatever. But there was a dark period where everybody's like, dude, I'm not doing this. And the timing couldn't be any more impeccable. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And GM bowed out. Since GM bowed out, Dodge bowed out, Mazda bowed out, they all bowed out, right? So, but for that happened, and that's the past, right? And that's interpretations and observations, and you just put it on the way you see it, right? This, for me personally, right? The head of GM, right? We went to Sav Leone, our brother's wedding last year, right? And
Sav is originally an East Coast guy, isn't he?
Yeah, import performance.
Yeah,
straight up from PA, right? And then Vince and Sav are tight, and Sav, he wasn't really going anywhere with the shop, right? And so Vince gave him a job at GM. So Sav and Vince both work at GM. So we went to his wedding, and GM for me personally has always been the enemy, and I have not sour, but it's competitive. I almost hate a hatred, right? It's like the Boston Celtics and the Lakers, right? Anybody who's a Laker or whoever's a Celtics hates them. Even what's his name? The logo. As you get older, you forget names. Anyways, the logo for the NBA, he says he will never ever wear green because he's a Laker, right? So in this case, Same thing with our team, or at least Bergenholtz Racing, or me. No, you know what? Just me personally. So
PTSD.
no,
Damn, man.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Getting
Right?
flashbacks.
Think about all the time just thinking of
I
Rocky.
drive a GMC Dually, but anyways,
They do build good
so-
trucks, though, by the way.
they do actually. We run into the head guy who was the coordinator of all that.
At the wedding?
Russ Oblinus, right? And I went up to him and I said, hey, thank you. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for you guys. I go, thank you. I go, dude, going through what you guys put us through, right? I would have never learned to the most, my eyeball's starting to hurt. just thinking
He's
about
twitching. His eyes are twitching right now.
PTSD again.
it. Yeah.
Need some room, bro.
I would have never been the person I am today if it wasn't for their
torture.
intensity. Oh my God. And he goes, no. You don't understand. Thank you too. He goes, you upped our game too. He goes, in fact, you know what? I'm going to quote it. I don't think it came from Russ. It came from, I think, the tuner, where if they were caught in a bind, they would go, what would Bergenholtz do? I got that inside information.
Yeah.
I was just saying,
What would
cool. And
He wouldn't turn up the boosts.
for us, our team, right? Dude, our team was a bunch of nitwits, okay? None of us held a degree. None of us had any accommodations. None of us had any accommodations in traditional motorsports, NASCAR, whatever, right? Vince was a guy off the street. I don't have any degrees in engineering or anything. Ed doesn't have any degrees in engineering, right? The only thing we can say is, we put a wheelie bar on because we were drunk, right? But it was a team of misfits, and what I'm getting at with this is it's not what you have, it's what's in your heart and what you're willing to sacrifice to accomplish the
goal.
impossible.
Yeah.
Right? The latest, perfect. Latest Top Gun movie, right? At the end, when Maverick and Rooster
Spoiler alert.
are flying, everybody's watched it, right? Are flying an F-14 Tomcat, old piece
tech.
of shit, right? And Maverick, Tom Cruise is going, dude, we have no chance against these Phantom stealth fighters. And Rooster quotes Tom Cruise and says, hey, Maverick, it's not about the plane. It's about the pilot. And what does Tom Cruise do? He fucking knocks with his old ass F-14 Tomcat from what, the
80s,
70s?
70s or 80s.
70s, right? He knocks, well, of course it's a
movie.
It's a movie, but still, the story at hand, right? And I'm a big movie buff, right? He knocks him out. You know what I mean? Even Rocky was fake, but those underdog stories inspire.
Speaking of movies, what's your most go-to movie you will watch over and over again?
Oh man, over and over again. Oh, damn it. Oh, this one's perfect, right? Damn it. Jeez.
I'll tell you mine, just to help you. Shawshank Redemption.
That's a good one.
Shawshank's good, but
It's long, so you could always I could cut
it's
here.
about Rooster, that actor Rooster. He's a drummer, and basically that story. What the hell was it, dude? I would highly recommend, if you guys are in a competitive environment, to watch it. I'll come up with it something. Damn it.
It'll come to you, all right.
Anyways, but that's the movie I watch constantly, even when I get. Problem being that the most evil you can get is being complacent. Complacent's fucking hard, dude. When you become complacent, that's an enemy. It's nice to be able, I can breathe now, right? Complacency for me is just plain evil. You got to strive. You got to go above and beyond, right? And that gets your blood pumping. That makes you strive for greatness. You know what I mean? Mamba mentality, right? If you're going to do anything, right? We discussed this outside. When you do anything, you do it 110%. Even something as simple as wiping your ass, right?
110%.
If you don't wipe it good, later on, you're going to be scratching. And guess what happens? If you're scratching, there's going to be skid marks. And then after you got skid marks, your wife's going to go, dude, I'm not washing that. And it gets thrown away and you lose money, right?
Great analogy.
So in anything you do, something as simple as wiping your ass, right? You gave it 110%. So in essence, in anything you do, even stepping foot onto the competitive environment, you put it all out there.
You have to.
All out there. That's why the past playoffs, I give it all up to Miami Heat. Miami Heat was a bunch of people from the street, undrafted players. Number 8 seed that had to go through 2 bullshit rounds to get that 8 seed, right? They're guys off the street. They weren't even drafted. And what did they do? They make it to the finals.
It's true.
They won one. Yeah, they won one game. They won one. Where the Lakers, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a Laker for life, right? Lakers got swept with a bunch of stars. So what I'm getting at is in anything you do, in any type of competitive, well, even
competitive,
even wiping your ass, right? But in any competitive environment, it's even more better to give 130%. But the problem being is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Kobe put it best. Are you willing to sacrifice being a good friend? Are you willing to sacrifice being a good father? Are you willing to sacrifice not sleeping? Are you willing to sacrifice, instead of being on your fucking phone, studying tape? You know what I mean? Even when I was coaching basketball, right? And mind you, these are, I don't know, my kid was 9 or 10, right? Dude, I was studying tape, and I was analyzing each possession and each defensive possession on why it was successful or why it was a failure, right?
It's important.
Yeah. So you go with 110%, and you got to be, this is stupid, right? This is one thing I hate about the new generation, right? We're going to give away fucking 15th place ribbons.
Participation trophies.
We're going to have a dog that helps you feel better about yourself because you failed. Get the fuck out of here, right? You failed.
That's it.
Right? You failed. Even if you get second place, right? If you get second place, that means you're first place loser, right? But no, I need a dog to make me feel better and go, oh, well, yeah, I can be better. No, dude, you failed. You failed. So what are you going to do about it?
Demonetized.
What are you going to do about it? You're gonna cry in some corner, right?
You got to go on.
I'm a big fan of Kobe, dude, right? And of course that comes from Jordan. I'm a big fan of Jordan, but Kobe was more vocal about it. Jordan kept to himself, right? So Kobe, his daughter's team, rest in peace, Gigi, they had gotten 15th place. And mind you, this is Kobe coaching, right? And they wanted to break the trophy or whatever, right? He goes, no. Put that in the first thing you wake up in the fucking morning. Put that up there so you remember, fuck, that sucked. And they got a 15th place trophy. Are you kidding me? And he goes, no, don't be sad. Look at your failures for growth.
You have to.
Right?
I'm so sorry. I'm interrupting you. You have gotten me thinking. You have like a hack for people who don't go through that kind of stuff. So like there's a lot of people are gonna be lazy, they're not gonna want to do that, and they have to push through the suck.
Well,
right?
here's the thing, right?
That's what we're talking about, right? We're pushing through the suck.
When you're competing, it depends on where your passion is, but the way I see it, whether it's YMCA, AAU, racing professionally, but screw that. If you're just playing pool, right? Or well, now I guess not competitive pool, let's say, right? Dude.
Even wiping your ass. Well, I give up on that.
Well,
so that must mean you got a bidet.
Yeah. You know, it's good you brought him.
You got a bidet.
He lights it up, but you need that guy. But anyways,
the token way.
When on a competitive environment, right? When you step foot to compete, are you there to win or are you there just to participate, right? And there's no, you tried. Famous words of Yoda. There is no try. There's do or do not. There is no try, right? And so when you compete, you go all the way, 110%. If you're there to be famous, get the fuck out of here.
So
Get the fuck out of here.
You know what Dave was trying to say. You lived through that. What is, you know, what were the things that the suck part? What really sucked about it?
What was like your lowest in the race, in drag racing?
But you had to
blowing up motors against GM.
And then how did you push through that? Like you guys kept blowing motors, like
Vince almost gave up. Vince almost gave up. He gave up. And for me personally, right, even as a unit, right, as a unit, even in this world we live in, where economically it's obscenely harder to stay alive on this planet now, obscenely harder. Working hard isn't enough anymore, right? So sucks, but competitively, even staying alive on this earth, you have to compete to stay alive, right? So you're competing just to stay alive, to make ends meet, compete. And mind you, when you have your back against the wall, right? When you have your back against the wall, you have one of two things to do. Either you're going to cry like a bitch, right? Or you're going to use your head and you're going to fight your way through. And it's a pain in the ass to fight your way through, but you'll be that much more wiser and that much more stronger, right? And for me, that's the only way to fly. That's the only way to fly. And and I try to teach my kids and instill that in them. I tell them nonstop. I go, if you ain't stressing and trying to fight through something, you're not making progress. There's a saying in drag racing or racing that goes, if you ain't breaking shit, you ain't trying hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You're not pushing it.
You're not pushing it. So
you're probably one of the more intense people I've ever met. And you have this fire in your belly to everything you hit it with 110%.
Well, let me put it this way, okay? For 30 fucking years, even when I was freestyling, right? Dude, I remember I was fucking 14 years old, right? Competing flatland, 14, 15 novice against 62 heads. I fucking won. I won, right? Even before that, me and my brother, here, you want to know what the roots of Bergenholtz racing is, right? Back in the day, right? G.I. Joes, right? Something is everybody's collecting G.I. Joes in the neighborhood, right? You'd have G.I. Joe parties, right? Because, oh, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got, right? I had the maddest fucking G.I. Joe collection. Maddest, the best of the fucking block. You want to see somebody's G.I. Joe collection? You come to my fucking house. I got the fucking... Then Star Wars. Had the maddest Star Wars collection, right? Got in the bikes. Winning events. Unfortunately, I threw away all those fucking trophies, right? The only one I kept was this. It was a silver-plated Converse shoe. First
That's a nice
place,
trophy.
14, 15 bracket, 62 fucking competitors, right? So me and my brother have always had this fire in their ass.
Pause.
To be the best.
So,
you know what I mean?
So Ron, because you had that passion, the fire, the competitiveness. Do you think that everyone can be competitive, or do you think it's only meant for a certain amount of people out there? What's your take on that?
Damn. You know what's funny is the youth today have been able to finesse it, right? I'll admit it. I'm a purist. Okay? I'm a purist. To them, to some people, success is through likes, subscribers, the cash money that comes in because of those marketing assets, right? But I'll tell you this much, right? The adrenaline rush from serving somebody their ass when you beat them, even for me as a basketball coach, right? that adrenaline rush,
It's not replicated.
you can't replicate. And here's the thing. Here, you ask about it. Can anybody get into this? When you get a taste
Of winning.
of winning, of being, of going above and beyond, right, and accomplishing it and realizing it, that shit's addictive. It's addictive, and you end up doing that throughout most of your life. And there's not many people who are going to get it, right? And not many people can attain or realize that taste, that feeling,
It's a lot of work.
that journey to it. I mean,
It's not
I'm a-
easy.
I'm a sucker because, you know, in order to make $1 million, not that I've never seen $1 million, but it takes a lot of financial resources, right, to even pull it off, right? But, you know, not many people experience that. And, you know, shit, screw it. I'm making a lot of money. I'm buying cool stuff. But viewers out there, if you ever get a taste of it, man, it's not,
You have to want it.
not even $100 million. Like here, take for instance, right? I'll give it a good example, right? I'm a billionaire, right? I formed these amazing companies, right? And, you know, shit, my company's worth, I'm a billionaire, right? Cool, right? That billionaire who's at the bottom of the ocean right now, right? You know, hopefully they get found, right? That's why he goes to go see, you know.
He's willing to take the risk.
He takes the risk to get, I don't think the exhilaration isn't going, oh, well, that's Titanic.
Let's just say that you've done it.
I went to the Marianas Trench. Yeah, cool. I've been to Mount Everest. You know, you look around and it was an accomplishment to get there. If you know, he was taken down in a sub and went down there. He was taken down in a sub to Marianas Trench. To climb Mount Everest, that's one thing, right? But when you get a taste, a fucking taste, right, of going above and beyond and winning, fucking winning, dude, it's fucking crazy.
I think part of what you're saying though is that risk, right, and overcoming that risk, because you have to.
But it came naturally.
You have to be willing to fail.
Well,
You have to learn how to fail and then learn how to come through that failure to get to the other side of it.
well, it starts off because you have to have, as a human being, right? Amongst other human beings in a competitive environment, you don't want to be soft, or at least that's where my area is, right? You want to be able to go, yeah, that guy's good. That guy's good.
That's a bad motherfucker, right?
Yeah, that's a bad motherfucker, right? And so competition brings that. And I would imagine some businessmen, right, who have accomplished becoming a billionaire, right, fought through it, right? And then all of a sudden they sit back after they've fought out this company or fought out that company or fought off government regularly, like, I can breathe, right? That's one thing, right? But when and the story of Phil Knight, if you've read his book, Shoe Dog, right? He went through a lot of shit, selling shit out of his car. And if you saw the latest, oh, that's another good one. Ben Affleck, right? With Matt Damon. Watch that fucking movie. It's not about the shoe.
Air.
Air. If you watch that movie, it's not about the shoe. It's about the guy who was the scout for Nike, right?
And his drive.
And mind you, that was a center NBA, and everybody's picking center. And so what does this guy do? He picks a guard.
Yep.
But the reason he did it is because he knew in his heart this was it. He knew in his heart and all his passion, and he pulled it off. That's one comparison, right? Going above and beyond and risking it all.
Yeah, the risk.
Risking his career, getting fired by Phil Knight, right?
So Ron, did you risk it all?
Well,
You know what? I risked. I don't remember my firstborn when he was small. I don't remember him. I don't remember what he did. I remember a few things, but I wasn't there for him.
That was during the racing time.
Yeah, I wasn't there for him. I don't remember his first. Oh no, I do remember his first steps. But I sacrificed that. I sacrificed being a good husband. My wife. There's a saying that goes with every great racer. There's a good woman behind him. My wife was a single parent.
You are on the road.
I was on the road.
So
It was more, you know what it was more of? That fire in your heart. That's what it was. To not take shit. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing, I talk about it with the guy I work for now, and it's not more car related, it's business related, where you could see the development of this land or whatever, right? You could see it. You know how it's going to go. You know where everything's placed. And then you'll do at any cost, right? Because you want to see that vision come to reality. Same thing with the racing. Realistically, probably 98%, 99%, the general population is never going to feel something like that. But when they do, those people that get a touch of it, man, it's
hard to shake off.
Yeah, and the thing that's cool, which will be better, is that in anything you do, you won't take anything less anymore. And you'll make sure you surround yourself around people who want that. But
I think sometimes people
98% of people, they're gonna fail. This isn't for everybody.
No.
But when you get a taste of it,
well, the problem is when you fail, a lot of people are just going to stay there, and they're going to be, what was me? They're not going to like want to move on from that. They're not going to pick themselves up and say,
or figure out why they failed.
I am not going to take that.
Well,
yeah, they're like, that sucked, and I don't want to do it ever again.
I don't ever feel that again. But guys like us, fuck that.
Yeah,
you ain't going to get me down.
Well, another thing that helps you guys, right, from where you guys grew up is tri-state area has that bravado. I love New York. I love New Jersey.
Like, fuck this.
I love Philly. I like the bravado out here. It's like, you know what I mean? Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that. You don't see that shit. I mean, I lived in Cali for 33 years and now reside in Houston, but you don't see that shit in Cali. You don't see that shit, but inevitably, to your premise, right? Yeah, not many people are gonna
move beyond
it. They're not gonna do it.
They're gonna say, "Oh, look at all these GM cars. I'm not gonna win."
But I'll tell you this much, right? I'll tell you this much, right? Hey, we're not about to get serious, okay? I'll tell you this.
We were doing so good.
I'll tell you this much, okay?
Sorry.
And it's up to you, right? No matter how much money you have, right? You know what? Screw that, right? If I was a $100 million man, right, and I was worth $100 million, right? I wouldn't want any of it to sacrifice that feeling of triumph, right? Of fighting through sadness, pain, aggression, and actually fighting through it. I would never get that way. Ever. And that bonds our team like no tomorrow. I mean, none of us are the founder of Facebook. None of us, we don't, I'm not saying money isn't everything, but,
you guys almost did it without any money.
Money is required to stay alive on this planet, but that feeling, I will never forget it, ever.
I do think it really helped to have a good machinist on that. Vince is a really bad. So we keep talking about Vince. Vince is Golden Eagle.
That's a bad motherfucker.
The father taught Vince since he was a little boy how to use like the Bridgeport, the CNCs, and all. And so if you just said it, Vince could make it. Right?
How did you meet Vince?
All right, so obviously we had our team went through different reiterations, right? And that's usually what happens. You know what I mean? After being, even as a businessman, you have a certain group and you're trying to find everybody on the same page and moving towards the same goal, right? And working together and being, it's the culture of a particular organization, right? And so it just so happened that the culture, especially through something like 2005 and 2006 NHRA championships year, was to make sure everybody was in the same direction that we're moving on. And mind you, don't get me wrong, I give mad props to Vince, right? No doubt, he's instrumental, right? But it's a collective effort as a group. That's why I even mentioned, Ramel, Kurt Gasper, people who were there just working hard, and they're tried and true. I'm going to stress this more than enough, right? Even the fucking truck driver, he is just as important as the driver.
Absolutely.
There's no I in team.
Yeah.
And Kurt,
But there's an I in win. That's Hobie. Anyways, people don't give respect for every single incremental person on the fucking team. One thing I hate about LeBron, me. No, it's everybody. Even the fucking, what was it? Was it Microsoft? Microsoft, the custodian's a fucking multimillionaire.
Part of the team.
The custodian is driving a fucking Ferrari, right?
I want to be that guy.
Well, that's part of the team. Everybody's putting together, right? Every increment. The guy's got to throw away your trash, right? Mm-hmm. If the trash starts piling up, I can't build the, Windows 95 or whatever the fuck it may be, right? But even the truck driver is fucking important. Even the guy cleaning out the pits, he's fucking important. So that way you can work on the fucking car. Everybody. There's no one single person.
How many people were on the team?
Let's see. My brother, me, Vince, Derek Ige, Sav, Kurt Gasper, Ramel Figueroa. So, the fuck am I going with this?
How you met your East Coast?
How you met Sav became Kurt on your team.
Sav comes over. We all get along, and now we can use Sav's place as a hub, right? Imbo. So obviously we were all tight and working together. Sav obviously had his race car when he was racing, and then he transitioned to us, right? And so Sav nonstop, gung-ho, right? And he goes, dude, I know this guy Kurt, dude. He's pretty cool, dude. You'll like him, right? So he was crewing with Sav on his race car, right? Because Sav had caught on fire or whatever. He was helping out rewire. And everybody went to the hotel with just me and Kurt. And we're just working. In fact, we slept at Englishtown on the floor of the trailer using the car covers as a blanket. So I was like, damn, this fool's down, dude. Later on, Sav retires, right? Or sort of retires or whatever. And then Kurt naturally got on board with us, and, he's down. He's not accredited. He doesn't have a year of his experience. Just, yeah, I'm down.
His grandfather owns or had part of the Northeast Airport.
He owned Northeast Philadelphia Airport, right?
Oh, shit.
So, but he's down. He's we called him the richest poor kid you'll ever know on the Eastern Seaboard, right? So that's how. But we've always had, for me, Philadelphia, right, was my second home. You know what I mean? Living at Sav's house for a month at a time. You know what I mean? Going to Himpo, helping, God rest Sav's dad, helping out with the shop, cleaning up and, hitting some races on the East Coast. I love the East Coast. You know what I mean? I love the fans, English. You're not going to get any better fans in drag racing than Englishtown fans back in the day.
How did it feel to go back to E-Town during the drift stuff, like to see.
Let's before you touch that. Give us an idea of like your exit from drag racing and then transitioning into the drifting.
The writing was on the wall. You could see it. NHRA handed it over to Nopi, and we knew it was done. We knew it. We were like, it's done. And at the time, Bergenholtz Racing was like, oh, well, times are changing.
And what's next,
It's changing. What's next? So drifting's next, right? So we went in that arena, right? And we had our own team. We started off with Apex, who already had a car. And we brought in 2004 D1 champion Ruji Miki in. And we did that. In fact, we did drag racing in 2008 with Battle Imports and the drifting at the same time, running 2 teams, 2 separate staffs, the whole bit. 2008 was a monster. So what was it? 8 drift events, 16 drag events. Bergenholtz Racing was in drift and drag. And then after 2008, we're like,
it's one or the other.
Done. It's done.
And were you guys still backed by Mazda at the time?
Yeah. Mazda backed both our programs. Nitto backed both our programs. Clutch Masters backed both programs. So a lot of our sponsors were backing both programs. Right?
And going to say that, I touch on this a lot with our guests. How important are those relationships that you built with these companies? Like, for example, Nitto's been with you.
96.
You know what I mean? And they're still integral part of your program.
Yeah. Well, they're.
Well, now it's kind of changed, but
I'm helping them right now as a consultant, right, with all their marketing activations,
right,
marketing strategies, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but just to see that you're still involved with them, it's not like that relationship has lasted so long because of
they're not businesses anymore. They're family. The guy still mentors me to this day, and I love that guy. Who I consider my older brother, Tomo Mizutani. Mentorship's important. That guy is smart. He's been teaching me since 98.
Yeah. What's he do?
Oh, he's a visionary.
No, I mean, like, where is he? Does he work? Is he in the industry?
He's the head guy for Nitto.
Oh, well, I know.
Yeah, and he still gives me books to this day. We still text each other, bounce ideas once a month, I guess. You know what I mean? He's busy, I'm busy. But to me, Nitto. Okay, let's say I'm just talk about Nitto, right? To me, Nitto is family. It's not a company that I'm a partner with or work for. So I work for them. Really, yeah. But they're family.
And turn into that from
so many years. They're family.
And I strive on that. I think that's very important.
Tomo is my brother. My other brother is Harry Kong. He's my brother. We're thick as thieves. We're coming up with crazy shit all the time.
Do you remember how you got Nitto as your sponsor?
Okay, so the CRX wasn't even racing. So I was part of Wicked, right? And in 95, I went racing with my Integra, the show one, right? Got it in, all this shit. Tom, my buddy Tom Jung was driving it, right? And the marketing guy, obviously Nitto sponsored Battle Imports. Nitto sponsors Import Draw. I was participating in both. The marketing guy goes, and everywhere I went, I'm a character, right? When I had hair before GM ruined my hair, right? I had a big pompadour this high, right? Spiked up. Aquanet probably killed all my follicles. Aquanet this high. So car shows, drag race, I had
you lived hair to the fullest.
Yeah, I did, but it's all gone now. But anyways, anyways, I'll have to ask you what BIC you use. It's easier.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
But anyways, the marketing director goes, "Hey, can I get my sticker on your car?" the asshole that I was just like, what are you going to give me? And I'll give you a set of tires. I was just like, cool. I go, yeah.
I'm down.
How many do you want? I put 4 of those bad boys on, right? Dude, I have that letter somewhere. They even sent me a letter, right? They, oh, thank you, blah, blah. I was like, oh, cool.
It's official.
Yeah. And that was in 95. And I was just like, this is cool. And this was, fall battle. I was just like, this is cool. And like, this day, I have a very close family relationship.
You still friends with? You still keep in touch with that guy that offered you?
Oh, hell, oh no, that guy. Marketing directors came and went.
Right.
To be and
but he opened the door for you.
Tomo, he's a cowboy. He's a Japanese cowboy, right? And cowboys get along with other cowboys. You know what I mean? Or disruptors or pioneers, things of that nature, right? Visionaries, right?
Yeah.
And we've just got along. You know what I mean? You sync together. People have that tendency where you can vibe with them really good. So even despite that guy's departure, right? The people that are still there, and there's only 2 from OG days, right? Oh, there's only 2 from the OG days, right? But the people that have been there a long time, right? They're family. For me,
Absolutely.
They're family. And, Stefan, Angelo, all these guys are family. Even the new people, they're family. You know what I mean? The Christmas cards, the whole bit, right? When I used to live in California, I'd bring cupcakes to them. I'd bring, 50, 60 cupcakes. And,
You've never brought me cupcakes.
Well,
Is it because of this?
No, well, I'm probably looking after you, not to eat cupcakes and have an apple instead. So those relationships with companies, right? They're no longer a company anymore. Because if you treat them like family, right? You naturally want to do good things for your family when they need help, or not even help, but help them in any way possible, even on the small 0.5% that you were part of it.
You're a part of it.
Just because you want to help them or do whatever you can to be of service.
And I think that falls into like people who get sponsored. A lot of people are just looking out for themselves. They want to know, like you're saying, what are you going to do for me? Right? Whereas a family, you want to know,
it goes
what
both
can
ways.
we do?
Well, it's nurtured.
What can we do?
Because I'm guilty. I'm guilty at first glance, at first thing. Well, what are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when they extend that olive branch, and it's a good olive branch, you're like,
I want to do more for
cool.
you.
I'm going to do more for you.
That motivated you to help them.
Yeah. And so, in a way, Nitto was one of the first sponsors of Bergenholtz Racing. And to this day, it's more of, I'm gung-ho. You know what I mean? What do we need to do to expand this base or expand this or keep the excitement going for the product line? You know what I mean? But companies become family. Lewis at Clutch Masters, he's family. Even Apex. I mean, I don't have nothing to do with Apex, but Masaki and Chuck down there. I mean, they're family. OG.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely OGs in the game.
But the people that I'm still keeping up with, when you spend so much time with them, like Harry Kong, he's my brother, my little brother, I guess, but I see him as an equal. We both see each other just, what kind of trouble can we get into today? You know what I mean? But when you work with these people and you're vibing with them, you can't help but, vibe together and kick ass.
Yeah, that's great memories.
Cool.
So Bergenholtz Racing's capacity in drifting now, do you have your own team?
Nah.
Or is it just strictly more on the Nitto side?
Owning a team, I mean, I'll be the first to say it. I mean, drifting, as far as the ownership is concerned, is not my cup of tea as an owner.
Okay.
I couldn't, me personally, I'll be the first to attest this. I couldn't get over that hump of having the car destroyed.
Actually, I think you're the second because Gary said that too.
I couldn't.
So you'd be number 2 on
After
saying
30
that.
years of drag racing, you know what I mean? You're not supposed to crash
Right.
the car, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'll admit I couldn't get over that hump. Now with how people build their cars, even when it gets hit,
More salvageable.
yeah, it's more
Yeah.
salvageable, but I couldn't get over that hump. But that's where the good Lord pointed me in direction, and that's where I ended up bowing out. But it's nice to participate even on the very, very smallest level, and share in some of that exhilaration, watching other people succeed, Osbo succeed. It's nice that
But you're helping them succeed.
Neto can assist and be of service
Mm-hmm.
in helping them achieve excellence.
So how involved is Nino now with Formula Drift?
Oh, geez. Man, Neto sponsors Osbo, sponsors Ryan Turek, sponsors Chelsea Denofa, Vaughn Gittin Jr., James Dean, 3-time champion, and Adam LZ.
All the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
All the heavy
Yeah.
hitters.
So we produce a product they want, right? That would be of service to them to help achieve excellence.
What are your thoughts of the competitor Falcon stepping aside from?
I can't comment on that, right? Falcon had to do what they had to do. And mind you, remember one thing is they stepped out of all of it. FD wasn't the only channel they stepped. So because Falcon stepped out of FD, that should not be any inclination that FD's got problems. No. In fact, it's the complete opposite of that. I mean, I've been watching it nonstop, and I'll be the first to say, I'm like, damn, it's bigger and bigger.
We say it was like bigger than the NHRA was? NHRA Sport Compact?
Formula Drift spits on NHRA Sports Compact. Spits on it.
Nationally it spits.
Worldwide.
No, I'm talking like
If you're to compare
when you went to where did you VIR for NHRA Sports Compact? How many fans were in the stands?
not
Right.
So we went to E-Town.
Right. But when you went to E-Town,
It was both sides. It was
can you compare?
crazy.
Is that an apple to apples comparison? Let's just talk about E-Town.
Let's talk about E-Town. Right?
Yeah.
FD E-Town. Right. And it's gonna be a
Which is
sucky-
this weekend, by the way, right?
It's a sucky thing to say, right? But FD E-Town spits on NHRA E-Town. Spits on it. Dude, you got to understand, right? During English Town, we'd fill one side.
That is true.
We'd fill one side.
Well, you know why, right? Because everyone was lazy and they didn't want to.
We kept it on one
all the way
side.
around.
FD Town, it's
Ah.
both sides. Dude. And then every event. Now, mind you, I've been retired from drag racing since 08. Yeah, 08. Yeah, 08. No, 012. Sorry. 012, 011, something like that, right? And FD just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And this year, it's with the economy coming back, right? And roaring back, right? It's sold out. Sold out. And when you look at it, the drone footage, you know what I mean? It's just like, and here's a cool thing too, is their demographic is becoming diverse. Don't get me wrong, they're young Z, whatever the hell you want to call it, Y generation market. They're loyal, right? And they've stuck to it. And there's a fair amount of them. But now those kids have grown up, bringing their parents with them. And they're bringing baby strollers in.
Definitely see that.
It's diversified, and it's just getting better.
Diversified from a generation
Yeah, because
standpoint.
that was a Y generation generated motorsport base.
Right.
You know what I mean? Tech savvy, phone, live stream, blah, blah, blah. But now I've been interviewing, and mind you, I've been in it at least as a focused on marketing since 2012. So 11 years studying Formula Drift as a marketing level. And it's just, you know, I was just like, oh, I thought it'd, you know, maybe level. Not.
Just climbing.
It's just climbing. It's insane.
Shout out to the Formula Drift guys out there.
Dude, Jim Law,
Jim Law.
Ryan Sage, Andy Luck, creative staff, Brian Alford.
Shout out to Brian.
Shout out to Brian.
Geez, everybody on that Cassidy and Tanaka was just her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. But that whole staff, I mean, dude,
They'd kill it.
20 plus years. I mean, how long did NHRA last?
Yeah.
02, 03, oh no, let's count IDRC, that conjunction. 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09. No,
Maybe 10 years.
maybe 10 years max.
Yeah.
And the bigger thing about the drift deal is that everybody said it was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Nobody said it was going to last.
Dude,
Everybody
I
said
think-
it was going to be a fact.
Yeah, I think like FD, especially with the drift thing. Now you've seen, we touched on it off camera, but you know their sponsorship is crazy.
Yeah.
You got national brand AutoZone, O'Reilly,
drifting.
you know,
What? Oh, drifting is American as apple pie for entertainment, right? It is the new generation NASCAR. It's the new generation.
Did you go to Japan when they went? I think that was last year. Did they go to Japan?
They have another franchise,
Right.
FD.
Like
over
I
there
seen
that's
some American
doing. In fact, we have a few drivers that are from America
that
not
go out
many
there.
that go out there, right?
Right.
And that's that particular part of the world. But you see it worldwide. You have Russia going off the hook. You got
Laptia.
Latvia going off the hook. You got that Eastern Bloc money just going off the hook. Their production is fucking nuts, and the stands are just as packed.
Do you ever see yourself driving in a drift car?
I've never even taken a ride along.
Did Ron drift? No.
No, never.
No.
I'm a fan of the spectacle. I'm a fan of the technical aspect of being able to do that. I have the greatest respect for those drivers who are able to drive and control the vehicle in those split-second moments based on what a guy in front of you is going to do. I have the greatest respect for the drivers that can drive, right? The drivers that can't drive, don't really care, right? But the people that are able to go above and beyond and do amazing things with a car and position that car in relation to the other car in the correct format is just
It's cool to watch.
it's an impressive thing to do. Considering how long I've been in it and seeing what they can do and where they're supposed to be, mad respect to drivers who know who have the skill to do that. You know what I mean? And from an entertainment perspective, right? You know, fucking the crashes are cool. I mean, the last event, Chelsea bunny hopped over some car and ended up backwards. And then the entertaining part was the car was really, really fucked up, right? And his team was going at it.
To get it fixed.
Yeah, and the timer was running and the cameras were there showing them go crazy and getting it done. And it looked like the car wasn't even down on the ground. There was 10 seconds left. And then all of a sudden, the moment the jack went down, it went to 1 second and he was off.
So he made it.
Yeah, so seeing what happens against the face of adversity, against the clock for the team.
Did they show that on the screen?
They showed it on the fucking
that's
screen.
cool.
It was fucking cool. Oops. It was cool, right? I'm foaming at the mouth. So there's a lot to see at Drift, right? And I think they should cover more of the well, no, they are covering the stories behind the people, which I love.
Well, I think that happens at World Cup and even during track events you were at. I have a picture of you and your brother changing the head gasket
It's not on time like that though.
The problem
between
being,
the rounds.
Yeah, and it's still a little different.
The problem being, okay, here, I'm going to delve on. I don't even give a shit, right? The problem with the NHRA, right, is they're trying to replicate, right, Powerade or whatever the fuck they call it now, right? They're trying to replicate Powerade into the youth market. It doesn't work that way. Oh, Dave, that was a great event, great race. Maybe I'll beat you next time. It's always an honor racing you. It's fucking boring.
Well, that's
You can't do that shit. These kids.
That's straight out.
The youth market wants spectacle. They want chaos. They want adversity. They want people competing against
Shit
them.
talking.
They want emotion. That's what they want. They're like, oh yeah, great job. Get the fuck out of here, right?
The world is soft now.
Englishtown, right? Englishtown, right? Here. No, they're not even now. Even back in the day, they're
Oh no, that's their format
the
forever.
NHRA modeling strategy, right? The NHRA modeling strategy during NHRA Sport Cup was completely flawed, right? I don't give a shit, right? It was flawed, right? So
Tell them why you're mad. Tell them why you're mad.
it's entertainment value, right?
Yeah.
It's entertainment value. Obviously in drift, right? I want my guys to win. If I can be at a 0.5% to be of service, right? I'm not doing it to ride their coattails. How may I be of service, right? If I can provide them, some information on their competitor or what their car is doing in comparison to the other car, I give them that information. You know what I mean? And I root for them. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a cheerleader. You know what I mean? But I try to be of
value.
usefulness
Yeah.
and value in some type of data or anything. You know what I mean? Or doing R&D at a closed facility, at a racetrack to deliver them a good tire to increase their odds in success, in achieving excellence. You know what I mean?
Now the tires that the drivers use, is that a tire that's available for the consumer as well?
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's not like a special tire.
No, hell no. Geez, we sold a decent amount of units. Every year it just grows and grows and grows. Yeah, you can order that from Jags, something.
Yeah.
And it's a drag radial.
Okay.
Like of all things,
Actually, it isn't.
it's not a drag
It's
radial.
not.
I thought it was a drag
It's a
radial.
street tire.
That's a regular
They have
tire.
Nito does have a
We have a
radial.
drag radial.
Yeah.
It's the
MT
555 R2. R2.
That came on the
That's
Hellcat or something like that, right?
But our G2, that's a street tire.
Well,
In fact, if you're
it's
to
a drag radial.
no, it's not. If you're to look at the tread pattern, right?
Yeah.
It's a street tire. You can drive the sucker in the rain.
Which I have done.
It has,
Might have those.
it has a lot. It has
Yeah.
tread.
Yeah.
It has,
And then
Yeah.
if you're to compare our tire with the field, all the other ones look like slicks with some lines on it. Our tire looks like a rain tire.
Interesting.
interesting.
No, we have
They have a little stiffer sidewall. Right?
I would imagine
it's
Yeah.
a street
because
tire.
the drag radial is the sidewall.
Yeah,
isn't-
on a drag radial, it's a soft sidewall.
it's a soft sidewall.
But this is a tire you can buy and put it on anything
and drive it
and drive
every
it.
day
Every day, G2.
to the Wawa or
And what size tire do they run?
Bigger is better.
Yeah.
30, 15, 40, 18.
It's a big ass tire.
It's a big
It's a big
ass
tire.
tire.
Squared?
Huh?
Squared?
No, we just put them in the front. Oh, the rear. Yeah. Front wheel
I'm
drive.
thinking about front wheel drive now.
But yeah,
So,
that's a
what's
the
street
e-brake?
tire.
let's go back. One more question
Yeah.
before we wrap this up. A while ago, you had posted on your social media pictures of the Mazda,
Oh,
and the trying to bring it back out. What's the progress of that project right now?
okay. So, a lot of the team, we want to feel young again. We just talk. When we do talk, there's talks about bringing it back, right? And so,
And also just so that everyone knows, the Mazda was a pro import or just sports?
no, it's a pro front wheel drive
It's
car.
a pro front.
That's the car that won 2005 and 2006 championships, right? And then
And now is that unibody or tube chassis for the,
that's
for the
a
viewers?
tube chassis.
Okay.
Or what you would compare to a pro stock front wheel drive.
Yeah.
Tube chassis, purpose built. The body is an actual Mazda 6. It's not a fiberglass body that was made in a wind tunnel.
GM.
You know what? You guys got to watch the Gary Gardella podcast because somebody talked about the wind tunnels.
Yeah. And that was created that body was created in a wind tunnel, and it is slippery as fuck, right? Ours when we got our body,
was crushed.
Here's a Mazda 6. Oh fuck, I gotta cut this motherfucker up, right? So it's an actual metal.
It was a complete car when you guys got
Dude,
it.
even the doors are metal. The trunk is metal. The quarter panels are metal. The roof is metal. The front end is fiberglass, which me and my brother made in our driveway in a controlled community. Luckily, they didn't see fiberglass all over the place. We got away with that. We did it at
Your neighbors are itchy at night. Like,
I'm going to go on a tangent. What is your brother up to these days?
He is the IT director for Skydance Studios. Skydance Studios, as you know, is
Terminator.
The guy that made Top Gun, the latest Top Gun.
Terminator?
And I don't know if they did Terminator. They did a bunch of other movies, but he's in Hollywood, and obviously since 93, 94, Ed's always been a computer nerd. And so to this day, now he is a computer nerd for a major movie studio.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Basically, his boss is, who's the guy that made Cars? Jesus.
Pixar?
Pixar? No, the guy, the actual dude.
Oh.
I suck. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, the guy, he's not with Pixar anymore, but he formed his own company, which is Skydance. Anyways, or Skydance Animation. But anyways, yeah, that's what my brother's doing right now. Believe it or not, he's renewed his license, even though he hasn't used it forever. Obviously, he was driving for FCS, Jason Parks, for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, he came out to World Cup.
World Cup.
Yeah.
I remember.
So that's what Ed's doing.
Okay.
The Mazda 6, obviously I cleaned it up for Cletus and Cars. We had a reunion of most of the team members, right? And we just hung out for 4 days at my house. We put the whole team was in my house, right? And then because Cletus and Cars was at Houston, and so we debuted the car there, and then obviously what's his name, Brent Levistad got all these pro front wheel drive cars together to go out there and make this pro front wheel drive splash. Are any of them running? No. We have an intention to run it. Vince Tiaga is building the motor.
Nice.
Right. From what I hear, the bottom ends are completed, and the cylinder heads. He finished one, and then I don't know what he did with the other one, but it's a work in progress.
It's coming along, though.
There's no rush.
Yeah.
Our main goal is to test it in Texas Motor Plant, Texas, bunch of 60 foots, bunch of 330s, a bunch of 660s. I'll put the jab in there. Our goal is to do a real 699, not a 927 60 foot that front wheel drive out launching a top fuel funny car. No. So, I'm going to get a call from Chris Rado about that one. But to do that, we got the numbers. Turbo technology is great.
A lot better. Engine management is a lot better.
Back pressure will get better. Engine management is still good. Because we still have Motec.
Okay.
the biggest thing that's going to make a big difference is a turbo, because we're running 40 pounds of boost and there's 85 pounds of boost in the exhaust.
Yeah.
EGR.
A little bit of back pressure.
Yeah, they're not good. Now, most guys right now, the new turbo technology is like, was it 80 pounds in the intake manifold, and then 85 pounds in the exhaust. So
This is getting started.
and
100 pounds of boost for you guys.
but I've already told the team, we're going up. I think we can do it with 40 pounds of boost. That's all we need. I go, we're not going to put 60 in it. No, it'll be the same shit for me. 40 pounds of boost, new turbo technology. But the difference now is we got 40 pounds in the exhaust manifold.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to achieve. And I'm gonna stick it. They probably won't listen to me, right? I think we could do it with 40 pounds of boost, with a 113, 114 out of the hole, with a short track 8th mile of about a 459, and it's done at 199 miles an hour. 699 to 109, not 699 at 210, not 699 at 214, not 699 at 220. No, 699 at 199.
Until the addiction hits. And then.
Well,
Right.
that's more for just to catch up and remember and have some fun. You know what I mean? As far as going to try to wipe the floor with people, maybe. The minor problem with doing this is what's going to happen.
Might wake up something.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's just going to get in there. You're like, ooh, I wanna do
Yeah, well, inevitably what'll happen is we're going to destroy ourselves, and we're going to go, fastest rear wheel drive in that class they put in was a 687
Yeah.
or 670, right? And we're going to go, well, and as with anything, right? Well, if we did a 699, well, for Johnsy, I'm aiming for a 710, and I'm happy, right? But I think we can do a 699, right? So, what's it going to take to go 680? And that's the same bullshit we've been doing since
Day one.
day one.
It's a great.
Oh, wow, look. 11.99. Okay, we did 11.1. Oh, look, an 11.1. Oh, look, a 10.9. A buddy of mine that I currently help out with on anything, right? Even let's say this Viper or that Jack, right? We can't leave anything alone.
What can we make it better?
Yeah, what can we do to make it better? Even looking at my fucking house, dude. Houses are those things are
Adult
hard
toys.
to fix up, dude. And like, I'm in the middle of a pool right now. It's
In ground?
in ground.
You're out there digging it?
No,
Oh.
I'm looking around and the stupid fucking flow jets. I'm doing Google searches on what's the best flow jets.
Turn it over to Dave real quick. What's up with the cat? I've been staring at this whole time. It's either I'm looking at Ron or I see this cat in
That's your
the.
pussy.
That's my pussy.
That's your pussy.
Hey. Well, so this is Jezebel. And Jezebel has been around for a very long time. Ever since we started making videos, we had Jezebel in the background. And
What kind of videos?
they're on YouTube, head games videos.
Oh, head games video. Wait, whoa.
So we always had Jezebel in the background, and this is actually the girls at the shop got me this before I was actually getting a real cat. So they always, they always talk about cats, and they're like, "Oh, you need to have one." And this was the cat they gave me.
Oh, that's
But
good. It's
I
not
want-
real because I'm allergic to real ones.
Yeah, well, that's what happened last time. So Hugo said I couldn't bring a cat
Yeah.
because he was allergic. So I decided to bring Jezebel.
Yeah, he said it was hypoallergenic.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
I wouldn't-
hypoallergenic. I don't know how. She does some shit
Look how
here.
dirty that cat is.
Hey, it's a shop cat. Wouldn't you
know,
ever seen a white?
If he's even working at the shop, you better believe he's like rubbing it. Look how dirty that. It's not even.
Matt-
No, I got real
mad,
cat.
mad shavings in the hair.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's COVID living in that cat, bro.
Oh,
She does something. I'm just trying to get her to do it. She meows and stuff.
Man,
Thank you, Ron, for coming. Really appreciate it.
we know your schedule's really
I didn't
busy.
ramble on too long.
And I think that's what it's
You know what? I learned the real Ron Bergenholtz is real. His passion is there. You know, the things that you heard about him, just having the love and all that stuff. We hear it firsthand here. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Ron, it's a real pleasure to be with you. You've been able to stay relevant all these years.
That too.
And that is not an easy. I talked about that in my podcast. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. And
it's
whoa.
It's not a matter of trying to stay relevant, right?
That's the thing.
I'm trying to stay
But that's the thing.
relevant.
You're not trying.
You're not trying. You're just there, bro.
You're present. You're present in that moment.
You said it the wrong way. You said you should be proud of how he stayed relevant.
Yeah, I am proud how you stayed relevant.
Yes.
I'm an enthusiast. I'm
He is an
addict.
He's a motorsports addict.
and you're a legend.
No, that just means I'm old and I'm about to die.
But you are old.
I am old, but that doesn't make me a legend. I mean, it's the same analogy, right?
You'd be like a samurai.
All right, here, one thing. Okay, remember one thing. Remember one fucking thing, right? It's the same thing as the truck driver perspective, right? I don't take well, like Gary put it. He goes, dude, I should have addressed my fans, right? But for me personally, see, everybody puts legend or blah blah blah, even on text and shit like that, right?
You're not that guy.
I'm just a fellow addict.
Yeah, you're just that guy.
I mean,
I think you just have the passion. You're an enthusiast, like you
just an
said.
addict.
You're just diehard,
Yeah.
which is, I think that's consistent to say with everybody from that era. So everybody that I've met from when I was a younger kid to now, you guys are still the same. You, Lisa Kubo, Ara.
The only thing I don't like, right? Fuck it, I'll say it. The thing I don't like is, I mean, it's nice to be around the campfire, and we're here around the campfire talking about, about what had happened in the past. But to me, guys, right, main goal is achieve excellence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're down and out, rise. You know what I mean?
You've been saying that this whole
There's
time.
hope, right?
Yeah.
But, I don't get me wrong, we did a lot, but I don't really live there.
Well, you know what?
That's cool.
I don't
I know you don't live there.
I
You're still moving on. You're still in.
I don't
You're still in.
go, oh, yeah, those
You're not Al Bundy.
No.
those were the days.
You're not Al Bundy.
Blah, blah, blah.
No, you know what, Ron? You're just being humble, but because we see it from an outside perspective of what you've gone through, and that's why he brings this up, right?
I'm telling the story.
Right.
Maybe somebody is in a hard part of their life where they lost all their money on a gamble, and they're trying to rise up and trying to survive or rise out of the occasion. And hopefully my experiences, even as humble they are, can help wake them up, like movies do for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as far as legend crap and shit like that, or trying to stay relevant, that's not my game.
I was just trying to get you in
He's
bed.
just trying to big you up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get you in bed. I'm just
Talking story about the past, it's cool, right? But it's cool, I got this new crazy stuff, or this new wheelie bar idea, non-motorsport related, of course, right? Or this new thing. Don't dwell in the past and whatever failures happened there. Think about what gangster stuff you could do, or cutting edge, or out of the box, or whatever, where you could do something different. You know what I mean? That'll revolutionize or do something that could change a particular industry, or change the way basketball is played. Stephen Curry, he changed the way basketball is played. Centers have changed. Centers are now able to shoot the three. Centers are able to pass the ball. Do something different. You know what I mean? Do something different that would change that, or what me and Joe call disruptors.
Right.
Elon Musk, fucking mad disruptor.
Change and adapt.
Yeah. But anyways, don't dwell on the past and go and try to live off of your laurels of the past. I don't do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm proud of the ring, right? And when it happened, but this says who I am. This is when I don't do, this is what I did in the past, and I attempt to do in the future. You know what I mean?
Always be better.
Always be better.
I think that's a good way to end this. So
Always do better and think about the future. If you failed and destroyed yourself in the past and nothing is going wrong, it's just like who's the guy that invented the light bulb?
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison made 1,000 shitty light bulbs and made one good one.
From Jersey too.
Yep.
Oh, is he from Jersey?
Edison,
Oh, perfect.
Edison, New Jersey.
Oh, they're there. Okay, so So in a nutshell, moving forward, just for all you viewers out there, think about what revolutionary, crazy stuff you could do to excel at and revolutionize for the future, whatever you're doing. And
Don't be afraid to fail.
And don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail, even though it sucks.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dave, for coming again. And
For having me.
what
Let's everybody drop their socials. How can we
let's
follow you?
You can catch me on Instagram at Ron Bergenholtz, Facebook for all the old people at Ron Bergenholtz, TikTok not really doing because the reels are doing pretty good. YouTube, same thing, Ron Bergenholtz, hashtag Mr. Miyagi. But other than that, that's where you can reach me.
Catching flies.
We got Dave.
So you can reach me. I actually never go on Instagram, but Head Games Motorworks is where you really want to look at. On Instagram, I'm on YouTube, and
With this candy.
I'm on Facebook.
Facebook are for the old people.
And like we tell everybody at the end, make sure you like, share, subscribe.
Mad love. Eat, sleep, raise.
We're out.
Thank you.
Thank you.